Hey,
Good
good
morning.
morning. Hi.
Hello.
Wow, my hair always looks crazy in the early morning calls.
It looked good to me, but thanks for waking up early.
Hi, good morning. Y'all were
Awesome.
very serious
Good
just
morning.
now. Very serious. I
Awesome.
guess
Anyway, what do you got for me?
you look a little fuzzy, but I
What do
can
you
hear
got for
you.
me?
So you look a little fuzzy, but I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you
Okay.
perfectly. So
Okay. So
awesome.
so thank you for yesterday. I'm going to ask you the same question because I like to have you. I like it recorded. Your answers recorded, so I can go back. And I forgot to tell you yesterday. I had asked you a question during the live training on Friday, and I went back to YouTube later in the afternoon, like an hour later, to re-listen, and I took notes on what you said, and I applied, and I used that answer in one of my responses to a recruiter, and I got an interview yesterday. So I had the interview yesterday. So thank you so much. It was like insta result. Thank you
Nice.
so much.
That's what I'm here for.
So I like to have it recorded to go back to. So my question yesterday, which I got the gist of it, but love to have you explain it again. How not to attach my emotions to the outcome, and you were talking about milestones instead. So that was my question.
Yeah. So yeah, first of all, an outcome should be a milestone, not an end result. So that's the first rule. So, right. So instead of, having end results, only have milestones. So that's where the idea of minimums come in, all the things that I do, because we're limiting ourselves at all time and we only have so much capability. So when we think of outcomes, think of milestones, not end results. And then once we know what milestone we want for the day, according to our long-term and intermediate objectives, and we go through the 5 daily practices, then we put all of our emotions, all of the energy that we put into motion, we put that towards, right, what it takes to get to that milestone, not focusing in on the milestone itself. So we focus it in on clearing the interference so we can enjoy the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of that milestone, which may change daily, may change monthly, may change yearly, may not ever change. But milestones themselves, we do not say, I will be happy when I get to the milestone. It's, I'm so happy trying to get to the milestone.
Enjoying the pursuit. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, it's just another layer of understanding, another layer of understanding. And
Yeah, me too. So it gives me an opportunity to explain things differently. So yeah, thank you.
thank you. And
You
I'll
got it.
see you sure again this week or at some point.
All right. Matt, make sure you notate. Sure, Matt, make sure you notate the way I said that about the getting, enjoying, not attaching emotions to the outcome, but attaching it to getting to through the milestone, not to the milestone. All right.
Yes. Thanks, y'all.
Perfect. You just asked me.
Which Wi-Fi?
Huh? No, you can get on this Wi-Fi here. Hold on 1 second. I'm open, Julie.
All good.
Password. All right. Hey, Zach.
Dave, how's it going, man?
It's going great. How are you?
Good. Really appreciate you coming to Detroit, giving me the opportunity to come over, to talk to you and Casey for the day. It was fantastic. Absolutely made my day.
Made my day. So as much as that was an incredible football day for me, I enjoyed meeting you in person, and Felicia especially as well. That was awesome.
Dude, she was a ball of energy if I've ever met one.
Yeah, man, it just warmed my heart that someone would do that, and all the things she said and the impact that we're having. It was amazing.
It's really cool to see, especially in those like brief snapshot moments. And yeah, to have that compared to a 66-yard field goal, which was absolutely bonkers, was pretty nuts.
It was a good bookends to my day. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
100%. So a question I probably should have asked you with Casey there as well, because I think he was going through something similar. When is the time to raise funding versus when is the time to bootstrap? And how do you think about the best chance, like giving the business the best chance of success and picking either of those routes?
Yeah. So I actually have a very structural, pragmatic answer, and
Love it.
It's from years of experience. Number one, if you're doing your timing and risk tolerance assessment every day, what is my timing and risk tolerance? You then will know the perceived value of $1. you will know the perceived value of a dollar by looking at what other people think, it's worth, what you're doing, and what you think it's worth. And somewhere between the two, or exactly with the two, you'll say, every dollar in my company is worth this much today.
Yeah.
That's what I perceive it to be. Then you also will look to see what the bottom line value of that dollar is. If I get the dollar today, I'm going to do all the math and say, for every dollar I get today, it means I'll have $20 in the future. Therefore, if I only take and give $5 of value for the dollar, I have a net of $15 in the valuation. So it's math.
Yeah.
So once you have your timing and risk tolerance, once you get a perceived value, once you know a bottom line, then any offer that either you solicit or becomes unsolicited makes it an easy decision according to the math. Yeah. Instead of making it, this toil and turning and emotional questioning, should I take it? Should I? It's just math. And what you need to get settled with the math before you can make a decision. And I would say this is a very, very common issue for people: when to take money, how much to take. But for example, put it into the context of something more substantial and less perception. If you had a $20 bill, and I offered you, but your perceived value of the $20 bill was $40. And the reason that is because if you got the $20, somebody told you, hey, if you get $20, give it to David Meltzer, he'll give you $100 back. So you do the risk assessment saying, is it true? Isn't it true? I know Dave Meltzer's a pretty good guy. I could post and say he lied. So you say, okay, $20 is at least a perceived value of 40, right? And if somebody offers you 18 or offers you 80, for your $20, you now can make a quick decision. The same thing holds true with raising money. So I always say you should always be raising money, but you always should not accept what people are offering, or you should be always soliciting to raise money, and not always accept what's unsolicited or what's in response to your solicitation.
Interesting. And there's definitely a practice that I have not been doing.
For example, the when doesn't make sense, because what if you told me right now, saying, oh man, Zach, I love what you're doing, I'll give you $1 billion for 80% of your company. You'd be a fool to say, no, not the time. Dave Meltzer said not the time to raise money. So the when is a stupid question that people ask. It's more timing and risk tolerance according to the perceived value of the bottom line, and then knowing unsolicited and soliciting, what you want for the best return on your, value.
I think it makes a ton of sense. My only follow-up there is I kind of look at capital as like having the capital to ensure success. So is that just the same thing of trying to figure out
risk tolerance, right?
Okay.
So that's your risk tolerance, because you're making a guess. Yeah, if I have the money now, then I won't risk going out of business.
Yep. Okay, cool.
So that's where that timing and risk tolerance analysis is so important.
That makes more sense. Yeah. Super simple model. I think definitely got some putting pen to paper there and seeing what the risk tolerance is, what the value of money is versus.
Yeah, and there's layers to it, right? The more you do it, the more layers and the better you get at it.
Awesome. So once I have this, the follow-up questions the future weeks is going to be how to raise.
You got it. No problem.
Awesome. Dave, thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Awesome. Good to see you. Trisha, how are you? Unmute yourself.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Amazing as well. I went to the Breakthrough Mastermind. It was so amazing. Oh my goodness. I went there with the intention of figuring out how to scale my business. And I met this one guy who says, oh, I already have an agency, but I'm not really running it. Do you want to run it? And so I'm partnering up with him, and it's a little scary, but really exciting. And
What's
I just wanted to make Jeff Hunter.
Okay. I know most of those guys. So
okay.
I've been mentoring Duffy for years. So
Oh, yeah. He learned from Duffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that this partnership is, moves forward with really good energy. And so my question to you is, how do I keep my message and my authenticity in this new partnership and work with higher end clients, but still be able to serve more newer clients? Oh, sorry, more newer coaches. If
Yeah.
that makes
So well, number one, this is that 80-20 thing, is that lean into the clients that you're being given, lean into them, provide them
sense.
value, and then ask them, do you know anyone else that I can be of service to, or anyone else that can help me? And that's the easiest, fastest way to sell through the people that you're already servicing. And instead of, neglecting by searching for new people when you already have people to service, those are the
Yeah.
best people to give you more people.
Okay. Okay. And then can we talk about the money thing for a second?
Yeah.
So
The money
all
thing.
the so I don't have any like overhead costs, so I was getting all the income. But then now that I have a partner and he's going to be mentoring me, so it kind of makes sense to do 50-50. But how do I not like have my income really go down because now I'm giving half the profits and have a team to do the work for me?
Well, you either get twice as many clients from the relationship,
Okay.
or you double your price,
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
or the math between that. So if you're going to get 70% more, then you raise your price 30%. If you're going to get 80%, you raise your price 20%.
Makes sense. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
Math is such a great answer. We all ignore it. Thanks.
Awesome.
Congrats. Take care. Thank you. Oh boy, he's early in the day. What's going on, Mr. Marshall boy?
Good morning, David. How are you? Where are you right now?
I'm in Bloomington, Indiana.
Oh, very cool. Never been there. Question for you. Is there a distinction between being grateful and being thankful? Because you say about, giving thanks or saying thank you, and I practice, I got this whole gratitude thing I do in the morning and at night to prep my mind for sleep. And so, but is there a nuance with saying thank? Yeah, I want to get your input on
I
that.
think from my perception, gratitude is a verb, meaning it's an
Okay.
action. So I'm seeking light, love, and lessons. I'm seeking lessons. I'm active when I'm gracious or in gratitude. Thankful is more reactive to what I have, the awareness of what I already have. So one's kind of more passive. This is all my own perception and my own interpretation, but I like it because, why have two words if there's not some subtlety of difference between the two? So
Right.
if you show up this morning, I'm thankful that you're here, but I'm also grateful for what's the interaction between us, because that's more active, right? I'm seeking light, love, and lessons from our relationship, but I'm already thankful for you being here. I'm thankful for the things that I have, but gratitude's much more active. I think thankfulness is a subset of gratitude as well.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay. So I'm just going to focus on both as I have been doing. But that makes sense. Cool.
I can't hurt anyone. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Have a good one. Safe travels.
Thank you. All right. Frank the Bank with the big smile. Give it to me.
Good morning, brother. Good morning. How are you?
Good. This is my Chief Wahoo imitation. For all you Cleveland Indians, all you Cleveland Indian fans that may change the name to, I forget what it is, but that made me see of it for political correctness.
This is the best way to start your day, with a big smile and a good laugh, So thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess first impressions mean a lot, right? So they get everything started for any future interactions. So my question really is, and I want to thank you and Mikey for he made the introduction to that gentleman who owns a healing center or something like that, because I wanted to ask him questions about getting my own. But with that being said, what is the proper first email that wouldn't consent to make that first introduction when you don't know each other?
Yeah, so I use the 5 step process, what I call the 5 to thrive. So the first email should stimulate interest by showing credibility, emotional attachment, and some sort of shared vision or request or ask. And so, hey, I'm Frank, I'm a recovering so-and-so, gives you credibility in the space. I've been working with people like you for 20 years. My life's mission is to heal people in, recovery or needing recovery. I'd love to be of service and of value to you and work with you. Does that sound fair? See, that covers credibility, emotional attachment, and a shared vision of an ask or an action.
Nice. That's keeps it short and to the point. I like that.
Yeah, very. All right.
Thank you. I
You got it,
appreciate
brother.
you. Thank you very much. Have a
You got
blessed day.
smile. All right. Thanks. Oh, Chuck-a-muck, what's going on?
Good morning. How are you?
Chuck Rose looks a little bit like Pete Rose this morning. That's not bad.
Oh, I guess I'll take it. How you doing today?
Awesome. How are you?
So, good, thanks. I'm on a walk and I'm thinking and I'm trying to spend a little bit, this is private sales group, right? So I'm trying to spend a little bit of time every day being proactive, trying to reach beyond what I think I'm capable of and try to reach out to a couple new people. At the same time, I always want to spend time thinking strategically, like what does my practice look like? What am I adding? Like what am I missing? What segments am I going after? So my question is about how to balance that, how to balance, strategic time versus proactive time. I know some people, I like to think about doing a little bit, at least some of those activities every day. I hear some people take sometimes a week or two or even more and tune out and just think strategically. And some of this, I think, plays into as you become successful is delegating and outsourcing some of the things you need to do. So what are the tips you have as you just kind of audit yourself? I think is the real question is how do you audit yourself to make sure not too much time goes by where you're like, oh crap, I haven't been proactive enough. Oh crap, I haven't thought enough, because time can play tricks on you. Because sometimes you're like, you're doing the right stuff, but 2 weeks goes by and you're like, wait, was I or wasn't I? And it goes by in a flash.
Well, I have my own approach, and I believe 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. So I do things every day, and I study my calendar for this very reason. I have 5 daily practices that I utilize, but the third component of knowing how things are going to get done is to study the activity I planned with the lens of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. How productive am I? How accessible to others am I? How am I accessing what I want? And how am I finding the light, the love, and the lessons, seeking the light, the love, and the lessons? Studying the activity I plan creates efficiencies, effectiveness, and statistical success in what you're planning. But what you're talking about is every day, I study the activity I don't have planned. Within the context of that, I vacation every day. I have meditative time. I have an analysis research time every day. I have time with my health every day. I have time with my family every day. And I put minimum milestones on those time limits. So it's a minimum of 2 minutes a day with my 3 teenage daughters, a minimum of 1 minute a day to tell my mom I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm worthy, I love you, appreciate you. The things that she wants to know. I spend a minimum of 30 minutes a day with my 11-year-old, minimum 30 minutes a day with my wife, a minimum of 10 minutes a day taking a vacation, minimum. But so I'll, you live in a nice place like me, I'll search for something every day that I would do when I'm on vacation, like take a walk, and by the beach or on a boardwalk or on the mountains, take a hike. And, even if, that vacation's a minimum of 10 minutes, it allows me to find that baseline, to plateau and grow. What you're talking about is the myth of Sisyphus. Most people don't do this. So they push a boulder to the top of the hill every day. The boulder goes back down to the bottom of the hill at the beginning of the next day. 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years go by, and you're still at the bottom of the hill. You want to plateau and grow. You don't want to be a tube, food in, food out, paycheck in, paycheck out. You're elevating, escalating. So you're choosing, according to what you want, how to spend your most valuable man-made construct, time. And when you study time, studying the activities, because that's all you have, activity you get paid for, activity you don't get paid for. All you have is 24 hours of activity. And how you use that activity to align, to be synergistic, supplementary to what you want is most essential to your fulfillment, your purpose, passion, and believe it or not, even your profitability. So be a student in your calendar, study those activities you have planned and don't have planned as a first step. Give a minimum of 10 minutes a day to study your calendar. Pick and choose what's your non-negotiable. For me, my health, my family, activity I get paid for. Those are non-negotiables 7 days a week. And that creates much more productivity, accessibility, and gratitude, and is creating happiness in my life. And it works for everyone I coach.
I really love what you're saying, and I think you're right. I think that doing a little bit every day is because you'll miss it. It's easy to forget. Now, are you going back and making sure if there's a wrench thrown in your calendar that you're adjusting? Like, I took my walk at 3 instead of I took my walk at 10 a.m. Like, are you just adjusting so that you can go back so that your audits are worth it?
Forward.
Yeah.
I'm adjusting it forward, right? So it doesn't matter auditing it. So I do it now. So if 3 o'clock was a better time, then I'm making my decision the next day, because I take inventory of it the next day of how better to be more efficient, effective, how to be more productive. So, according to each day, doesn't matter what I did yesterday. I just make an adaptable routine in order to, align, commensurate, or execute on what I want.
Great value, great sanity check. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Chuck. Have a great day. Enjoy your vacation.
Thanks, you too.
Bye. Oh, yeah.
My man.
What's up, Deej?
How are you doing? This is great stuff today. Man, your guns. You got some guns there. You doing push-ups?
I'm doing push-ups. I work out every day. So
God bless.
I've been lifting boxes today already. So better than weights.
Gosh, awesome. This was great stuff today, man. I tell you, you always talk about the pricing and your value and all that, and makes sense. But this one line you used, math is such a great answer. That's the whole thing.
Tweet that, Matt. It must be good. If Deej thinks it's good, Matt, it must be good. Math is
that's as good as it gets. Math is
math is the greatest.
It takes away the emotion out of the whole thing. No, that's not worth it for me.
Yeah.
And you think about it ahead of time. I mean, that just changed my life right there.
Yeah, and time and risk tolerance is your compass.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. And if you think of that ahead of time.
Now, Matt, time and risk tolerance is your compass. Math is the greatest answer.
Yeah, and if you think about it ahead of time, you know what your compass is. Then when the situation arises, man, I've already thought about that. Now this is what works.
Yeah.
So that's dynamite. All right, and then also I wanted, everything you do, I practice to the hilt. And the one thing I read is you said, I pray to God that you could put 10 people in front of me that I can help today. And it seems counterintuitive. How are you going to get business by giving help for free like that? But when I tell you that works so well, I mean, because in the conversation you're helping, they ask you for other things. So in that process, I have a guy that I'm going to send to you today who needs better coaching than I can give. And so I'm going to get him to you.
I got another one for you. So
what's that?
Math is your greatest guide or answer. Time and risk is your compass, and faith is your insurance.
Oh, I gotta write that down.
You got that, Matt, as well? Faith is your insurance. Meaning that people who have faith, whatever is occurring, for example, you sat there and said, this sounds gratuitous that you're praying for. See, I pray for two things, right? At least 10 people that I can help, but also I pray for at least 10 people that can help me. At least 10 on each side. So faith is my insurance that if I'm being of value and of service to others, that there'll be others there to help me.
And it's worked. So that's awesome. So my question is, now I do have a question. So I have similarly, because of these things that you've been teaching me, I have people that are attracted to me that are asking for help and all that. And especially in business, I'm really good at helping businesses grow. And what I've realized is that, man, some people are just more resilient than others. And I could see 6 months down the road, it's a whole total different story, but they're just getting punched in the face so much today that they're, it's risking quitting or throwing in the towel. What do you do in that situation?
Well, look, nobody quits. They just change their activity. So what we want to do is put people into the context of, okay, you do not enjoy this activity. You do not, according to your values, and let's go them together, what you want personally, what you want experientially, what you want to give, and what you want to receive are no longer aligned with the activity that you've been doing. So how should we adjust? Because there's struggles, there's setbacks, there's mistakes and failures and pain. So how are we going to propel ourselves to a better place, a better situation? We do not have to label it with a man-made construct with an LLC, an S corp, or a C corp. We want to keep moving, though. See, where people get confused is that when things aren't working out, as they often do, they see it as a stop sign instead of a signal. So we can adjust people's perceptions to, hey, let's find the light in this. Let's find love in it. Let's find the lesson in it and propel ourselves to a better place, a better situation. Trisha had a good example of that today. A little bit of resistance in her coaching business. She's growing, right? And she's learning. She's asking me questions, and I start to, right? And she's puts it out there. Maybe I'll seek some light, love, and lessons by going to a mastermind and putting my attention and intention into propelling myself to a better place. Here comes a partner. Says, oh, I need you. And something better came about. Instead of, she was contemplating, is this the right thing? Too much, struggle, pain, not enough money. It's not aligned with my values. Boom, got to a bigger, better place. And it doesn't have to have the same nomenclature. It doesn't have to have the same label, S corp, C corp, or LLC. Right? It doesn't. Every LLC is a subset of the future LLC that I'm in. Sports marketing is a subset of where I'm at today, because what I learned in the sports and entertainment event place, right? But when COVID hit and they shut down the Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, the Masters, Kentucky, and we're talking about millions of dollars of revenue for me, right? I didn't say, oh my God, I'm retiring, I'm sitting at home. I said, oh, somebody's giving me a turn signal that I got a better place to be. And I got a mission. This is the time I lean into Dave Meltzer Enterprises. Different nomenclature. Utilizing the same relationships that I built, this leaning into what I wanted to do for myself. Do the same for your clients.
Oh, I think you froze a little bit, but I got most of that, which was magical. So that's great. Tell Frank I'm gonna hook up with him. I had a gal on my podcast who does treatment help, and so I'll see if I can get them together. She runs a whole practice, and also I got a guy who, like I said, I'll share with you privately, but he's be a good account for you.
Thank you. We'll put him on our wait list. Thanks.
All righty.
Thank you. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, so good to be with you. Thank you to you and the team for everything you do. Colleen, Mikey, everybody. I had a challenging week last week that put a lot of things in perspective. I had not major surgery, but because of pre-existing conditions, it was a little scarier for me.
I have to interrupt you because Bill Walton, he told me a great line. Bill Walton's a famous basketball player, for those that don't know. He said, there's no such thing as minor surgery when it's happening to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was all good up until like I'd say a week out, and then I started freaking out a little bit more. Uh, but yeah, it's so funny. I mean, I got to tell you about this. I mean, you look, Indiana's treating you well. You look like maybe I missed you guys. Maybe I missed the call. I was away for a little bit, but you got more light, more energy. Or maybe I just been away. But I got to tell you about this funny thing that happened. It's so funny how things just sort of sync up. Like some of the, as always, the questions before relate to mine, and I got some information from Deej's and some other ones. But I went through. I don't go on Instagram much, but I went through the feed and I had this question. I was like, let me go look at some of Dave's videos. Like it's been a while. I don't really go there daily or even weekly, but my answer was in a video where you were wearing the same color shirt that I was wearing that night as I was checking the feed. And I was like, there goes my answer. And it was like like a more unique color, like a teal. I can't remember the subject of the video, but my question is related to getting better at formulating and making my ask for what I want to accomplish. I think, based on me wanting, like drilling in the paradigm of being a giver, somewhat related to what Deej was talking about. And, I like that aspect and philosophy. At the same time, it's sad that I'm even in the strategic alliance mastermind, and I get confronted every other week when I'm about to go to the meeting that I don't have a well formulated ask, and that's like that's like my only assignment, to show up at the meeting and make make an ask as far as what people can do for me, or what I'm seeking as far as introductions. So I want to get your
The reason is like,
Dave, your internet is a little choppy right now, so it's hard to hear your answer. If you want to try jumping on the phone.
yeah, I'll switch. When I'm switch carriers real quick. Give me one second.
One sec, Kevin. Thanks for your patience.
Okay,
He's switching over to his phone.
How am I switching?
Yep. One sec, Kevin. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop you too, so that way, and I'll add you back in when he jumps back on. So
Okay.
Yep.
All right, it's like a football. It's like a football game. It's halftime.
Yeah, I mean, this is much better.
Nice. All right. So anyway, this is a huge problem for everyone, right? Why can't we ask, even when our only assignment is to ask? And Dave keeps telling me you can't ask big enough, often enough. We're limiting ourselves. We're asking for crumbs. Why is it? Because when we ask, we feel separate, and it's exact opposite. We have to shift our own perspective that when we ask, we are reminding, recollecting, and remembering the oneness of what we are. We're not inferior or superior when we ask for help or give help, right? We are just clearing the interference between us and what already exists. We're clearing the interference between me and you when you offer me help and I ask for help. So what we need to do is build a habit of, one, perceiving asking as clearing, as connecting, not separating, and two, get into the practice of knowing what we want. So a subset to the energetic and genetic inheritance of feeling separate when we ask for help, then we have to get to, okay, if I get past the energetic and genetic inheritance of feeling separate when I ask for help, inferior, superior, then I need to know what the hell I want. And the best thing to do, Kev, that I did was just start with a basic answer that's a give all in case you haven't thought about it. So for me, people, Dave, I want to help you, man. What can I do? Share my content and do good deeds. That's my core. Like that doesn't mean everybody when they say that I do that, but you know, when I'm at a meetup and 30 people are there and they're like, Dave, you know, what can we do for you? You know, you're share my content and do good deeds. But when I have a breakfast meeting like you, and you're supposed to come with an ask, I spend some attention and intention on the coincidences I want. And I frame it always, does anybody know anyone that could help me with this? Right? I'm looking for a piece of real estate in Kansas City. I'm looking for, 3 more coaching clients. Do you know anyone that could help me? Do you know anyone that could help me with this? So work on both. Number one, the energetic genetic inheritance to feel separate, inferior, superior when we ask for help, which creates guiltiness, offense, and resentment. Get rid of that. Realize that you are actually connecting, not separating when you ask for help. And then 2, a subset to that is have a catch-all and always ask, hey, by the way, do you know anyone that can help me share my content and do good deeds? So thank you for helping me.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Take care. It's a good day. We got a lot of gold nuggets coming through, and we got a big smile from Dorothy, so that makes me feel good.
No, I feel good because my answer was I just got my answer. Well, thank you. This is much better because I can see you much better. I was gonna ask about how to clear interference, which we talked about the last time, and you just talked about that. Other than, I know you spoke about asking, or the feeling like we kind of lack that the confidence in asking. What are the ways that I can clear some interference for superiority, inferiority, stuff like that?
Yeah, so identify the triggers. That's the first step. What's triggering you to feel that way? So, do I have a certain person, place, or trauma that has happened in my life that triggers a need to be separate, offended, guilty, resentful? Do I have those types of things? So I'm always in search of and identifying, man, I'm angry right now. Instead of trying to fight the anger, I stop, I breathe, I ask myself, why are you so angry? And I really search, why are you so angry, right? Well, I'm hungry. Oh, that could be a reason. So it's more hanger than it is anger, and I have learned about myself that the high percent of the time that I get angry now is because I have a blood sugar problem of sorts. And so I'm better off revisiting what I'm angry about after I nourish myself and put my blood in the blood into my brain, into the higher power, right? All the things. So one of the key practices to start with, if you want to clear interference, is to identify what's creating that interference by stopping and thinking about, why do I feel this way? And you'll start saying, man, I don't know why, but every time I'm around my little brother, I feel anxious. Why? Oh, maybe I feel as if, somehow I wasn't a good brother to him, or whatever it may be. Oh, that makes me feel guilty. Oh, another interference. Oh, and then he does so much for me, that makes me resent him, and feel separate from him. It makes me, because he thinks he's better than me, or he thinks he's not better than me. All these things, when you start thinking about it, you start identifying what's creating this nonsense that's stopping the greatest source of power to come through me. I'm crumbs compared to, I got to stop it. And when you get to that flow, it's amazing, Dorothy. And so practice identifying and asking why, and we'll move past that the next time. Okay.
Okay. One other question real quick. Your night routine, I was going through that because I wanted to really, I feel like I always kind of start again from the bottom every morning. Do you have like a structure or something to kind of get you, like, I know you have the calendar, but I'm trying to get around
unwinding.
Yeah.
So first I set the thermostat to 67 degrees. I turn off all electronics. I don't let anyone have any negative conversations around me. I don't do anything that may create anxiety, fear, anger, any type of interference. And I think about just, putting something mindless on or having fun, positive conversations, playing hangman or having jokes, just something that puts me to like, I can't keep my eyes open. My body gives up. And it's a practice. So I'm much better at it than I was when I first started. But when you have no caffeine, no alcohol, no negative energy, perfect temperature, perfect light, ambionic sounds, ambient content, it allows you to surrender completely, put yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually into a point of recovery and access. See, I think of sleep as recovery and access, not just recovery or not just getting to the next day, which is 90% of the people on earth live their life like tubes, like I said. So they're just looking to, push the ball back up the hill again. Instead, I have a plateau and growth philosophy. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Dorothy.
much.
Good to see you. There he is, Mario.
Good morning. Thank you. Thanks for taking time off from your family to do this for us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, of course.
Dave, since the transmissions become more clear, since you switched to your phone, the messages have actually come in a lot more clear for me too, because Kevin and Dorothy both touched on a topic that I wanted to ask you about, because I find that when it comes to the discipline of doing the internal work or the discipline of doing the work that, for example, whatever it is, projects, I can work 18 hours a day. It's not an issue. But when it comes to asking, when it comes to presenting something that I've worked on, something that I built, and selling my services, for example, all of a sudden there's that shift in energy. And when I was that ferocious guy at home doing all this work 18 hours a day on myself, all of a sudden now I turn from a lion into a lamb, and I'm like, oh please, I'm not that same guy. So if I understand, when we are asking, it's also a way of remembering what we're here to do. I wrote that message down because that's how I kind of interpreted something. Is that accurate, number one? And I
Yeah.
guess
When
number
we're
two is,
asking, we're connecting. When we're asking, we're connecting. We're remembering, reminding, and recollecting, right? We're connecting, collecting, reminding, remembering, where everyone thinks it's the opposite. If we ask, we're separate. We're inferior or superior because we're asking.
yeah. Yeah, I mean everything's pretty much been answered the past couple, the other two guests and myself here. So I think I got it this morning. So
Cool.
I want to thank you guys. It's awesome. Thanks,
Awesome.
guys. God bless. We'll see you.
Yeah, in case people missed, there's some bombs that I'm not sure if you got, like faith is your insurance, time and risk is your compass, and math is your greatest answer. So math is your greatest answer, time and risk is your compass, and faith is your insurance. So those are some things that maybe from the delays people didn't get, but I thought were golden nuggets of the group. So
Yeah, they actually didn't come through, but I saw Dan go like, "Wow, that was amazing." So what I'll do is I'll come back, I'll circle back to
yeah,
this, and certainly write
so
that down, study that. Thank you so much, Dave. Always a pleasure. God bless.
awesome. Thanks, Mario.
Hey, Dave. Am I
Hey,
here?
Wendy.
How
All
are
right.
you, man? It's been a while.
Yeah,
I
it's
just came
always
in
good
for
to
the
have
side.
you.
Yeah. Again, thanks for making the time, as Mario said. So, continuing on the 5 steps of your sales process, right? So this has been my my target since really started these calls with you, and it's no doubt it's been successful. I actually had one come through yesterday, a lady that I've been chatting up for a number of weeks. So, two questions today. I think it was last month you were talking about vetting, that we should be vetting people. Well, I'm being vetted. So there's 2 wealth managers in particular that are really, I want to get in with them. Their client base is something that I want to be selling my services to. How much information should I be giving them? Like, one guy in particular really wants to know my business processes. And he said to me a couple of times, look, I don't want to start your business, but I'm thinking, why are you asking me all these detailed questions?
Yeah.
Like, he's really
So
getting into my business.
ask him, why are you asking so many detailed questions? That's the first answer. Second answer is that I'm completely abundant. For me, I will share all the secrets that I can, because I know
Sure.
that by elevating and celebrating
Yep.
others. But we live in a pragmatic world, and it's okay to ask people why.
Yeah.
Right. And if underlying the answer and why is that this person is not trustworthy or not aligned with feeding us, if they're going to bleed us,
Yep.
then it's okay to let them fall away and not be abundant, right? You see, you only have so much man-made constructive time. You want to be abundant with the people that feed you,
right,
not bleed you. So the vetting process to find out, is this person going to bleed me? Not necessarily that you're scarce and afraid to give them your process, but is it worth your goddamn time to do it to someone that's going to bleed you? No. So ask him why he wants it and vet him.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So I need to go back and really evaluate that because there's a time commitment on my part to kind of come back and give him that information. Okay. So once I've established these referral relationships with folks, a lot of hard work over the summer. Now it's collecting.
It should just be a lot of work. It should be a lot of work.
Yeah. So now, as you said, collecting is the hardest part. Right. So how often do I go back to continue to nurture these relationships to say, hey, don't forget, right? Don't forget about me.
Well, you want to create a go, no go plan, and you want to have a 3-no rule. So go, no go plan will be when you're in that process of making sure you've already identified the next step and the timing of that next step. And then if they don't follow or align with that next step and the timing of the next step, on the third time that it doesn't come true, whether it's an intentional, unintentional, coincidental circumstance that tells no, then on the third time say, hey, this obviously isn't the right time. I'm going to attend to the people that it is the right time for. When you're ready, please give me a call. I'd love to do business with you. And to that end, about estimated 50% of the people you will accelerate the business and they will call you, and 50% or so of the business will never hear from you again. But you have now saved all that time, which is far more valuable than accelerating the business, is getting the no's, finding out who's real.
Yeah, and it is effective because I have sent out that last email saying, as you said, and people do come back and say, no, I want to talk, but I still can't get them to come up to the plate and deal with me. So again, my point is how
want to talk, then nail them down at that time to a time, right?
Yeah.
And if they miss it again, say, I know you intend to do this, but I don't have the time until you're committed to get this past the finish line. Take accountability, empower yourself. Don't be afraid of losing someone that's not going to do business with you on your terms.
My terms. Perfect. Thanks, Dave. I'll let you get to your next guy. Have a great week and appreciate your insights.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Daniel, what's going on?
Hey, Dave.
Matt plays games. It's like 3-card money. I never know who's coming up. So
how's it going?
Awesome, man. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. So I actually have 2 questions. My first one is I started reading the book Think or Grow Rich, and so you're familiar.
I read it every day.
Okay. So in the book, it explains how you have to write like a detailed vision as far as what you want and what you expect from the universe. And one of the things that it says is to have a date, as a specific date to when you want to receive the money that you're asking for.
Yeah.
And like 2 weeks ago, I was watching one of your lives, and a woman was asking, like she was talking about getting to her mill, and then you said that the universe doesn't understand time. So I was wondering.
Yeah, it's one of the with that. Yeah, so one of the few places I don't agree with Think and Grow Rich is that I think you limit yourself and create resistance when you say I want to make $1 million by the end of the year, right? Because every day I get closer to the end of the year, there's more pressure created, and I'm limiting myself to making $1 million by the end of the year. See, for me, I want to make as much money as I can as fast as I can, and that relieves all. Or if I want a milestone of $1 million, I'll say I want to make over $1 million as fast as I can. There's no pressure. So if December 31st comes around and I have $6 million, I'm going to feel extremely happy. But if I have $980,000, I'm not going to be sad. And right, because I'm making over $1 million as fast as I can. It's a milestone for me, and I'm putting my intention and attention, just like Think and Grow Rich teaches me, into enjoying the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of making over $1 million as fast as I can. I'm not attaching my emotions to that outcome. I'm going to be happy if and when I make $1 million by December 31st. There's a totally different energy. It's almost as clear as if I had you say, and please don't, the word I hate you 10 times, and then say I love you 10 times. There's an energetic feeling that you'll get when you say those words. The same energy, if I promise you say 10 times, I want to make $1 million by December 31st. I want to make $1 million. Feel that, and then say, I want to make over $1 million as fast as I can, and feel that. Do it 10 times. You'll see exactly why I disagree with Think and Grow Rich. And I rarely do, because that's a book I read every day. Every day I read it. So that's the one thing. The man-made construct of time is slower than thoughtfulness. So I'm going to live in the realm of thoughtfulness, of abundance, of infinity, of unlimitedness, not in some limited activities of 24 hours that man has constructed for me. Not happening.
So as soon as possible.
Fast as I can, as soon as possible. Everything. Don't forget the first step, which Think and Grow Rich does tell you, is I am happy. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm healthy. I'm worthy. I'm wealthy already. What am I doing to interfere with it? But the law of attraction only starts with the law of gravity, that I'm happy where I'm at. I have everything I need. I'm at the right place at the perfect time. Now I'm going to bust my balls, utilize the law of Goya, get off my ass, make it happen as fast as I can. And those are only milestones. My goals are only milestones, because I know that I'm always limiting myself. I could do much better than even the milestone I'm thinking of, like, $1 million. That's a milestone. So I might as well say making as much money as I can as fast as I can.
Gotcha. Is there like a favorite chapter you have in there, or just all of them?
Oh, I read it every day. So there's not, and it has layers of understanding. I read the Course in Miracles every day. I read Power of Intention by Wendy every day. And then I select a different book, whether it be, Tim Grover Winning, or Atomic Habits, or Surrender Experiment. I'm reading 4 texts for short time every day.
Awesome. My next question is, so I'm an artist. I'm also a writer, and I have an idea for like a show, for like a TV show. I was wondering if you knew anybody that you could connect me with, that I can possibly pitch my show to get me to the next level.
Do you have a treatment for the show?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So the first step is, instead of losing credibility by pitching an idea of a show, because there's a million ideas, it's like having an idea for a business but not a business plan. A treatment of a show is a business plan of the show. So it talks about the characters, the development of the characters, how the show runs, the timing, the attachments of the show, any directors, producers, anything for that. Otherwise, it's just an idea and you're just wasting your time. So I would, Google treatment and create a treatment for the show. I personally have had great success because I make the investment, and not only do I create a treatment, I create a pilot and then send the pilot. So, I'll invest in it. Usually a pilot costs me somewhere between 30 and 50 grand. It doesn't have to, but the more you can provide, you're in the 1% of the 1%. Instead of being, oh yeah, Dave Meltzer has Daniel, a friend of his, that has an idea for a show, which has 0.00001% chance of getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
When the person who has a treatment, has a 0.01% chance, and the people that, have a pilot have a 1% chance.
Well, I have 2 episodes out on YouTube right now, but do you mean like a physical, like, write-up as far as like what the show is about?
If you have a YouTube pilot of the show, then go ahead and make an outline of the show. Just Google treatment, and you already have it, so it shouldn't take you much time to codify what the show's about. Who's in the show, what attachments you have, the length of time it is, any sponsorship possibilities. It's a business case for the show.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely will do that. I appreciate it.
You got it. And I do have people to introduce you to. So, all right.
All right, cool. We'll be in touch for sure. Thank you.
Right on, Dan. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There he is, just in time. What's going on?
Dave, how are you?
Amazing. Thanks for joining me.
Good. Feeling amazing too. I'm looking for some guidance.
I'm here.
All right. So months ago, we talked about how I was getting more into the Tanzania Water Fund, just personal, on a mission, driving clean water. I do an annual fundraiser, pull-ups for Tanzania. So I'm trying to bridge the gap personally and professionally. So personally, I have this fundraiser. People know me as the pull-up guy, clean water person. It's great. Last year, thousands of people did 50,000 pull-ups in a day across the country. That's the event. So people know me from that. And then this other network of people know me because of my job. Professionally, I'm a benefits advisor, usually work with companies, 100 to 1,000 employees, more strategy on their health plan. How do I bridge the gap? What do I need to think about as I want to relate to more people who are passionate about things that I'm passionate about?
So you need to start sending content and communication to the people in the push-up realm by asking them, do you know anyone that can help me? Or do you know anyone that can help me find someone for benefits? You need to ask the benefit people, hey, do you know anyone that can help me raise money for Tanzania Water Project? And, whether it's emails, phone calls, in person, those are the simple asks that don't consider it bridging. It's just reconciling the two communities. The good news is that both your communities are in your spectrum. They're in your frequency. So they most likely have open minds, open hearts, and open hands. And they'll be statistically the greatest influencers, ambassadors, and connections for you. But you need to start asking, hey, push-up community, do you know anyone that can help me? I'm looking for more companies to help them with their benefits. Hey, benefit community, I'm looking for more people to help me with my water project. Start practicing 10 a day. Let's get it done. We're going to change the world. And my universes are so reconciled because of that. And I'm not bridging anything, right? I'm just utilizing a frequency that everyone's already tuning into my channel. So let's just give them, a different show.
Yeah. Just ask them individually.
Yeah. In person, on the phone, via email and social media. Raise their awareness to what you're doing on the other side, and it'll reconcile itself.
Okay.
All right.
Last question. Do you know anyone? Does anyone come to mind knowing that might be good for me to talk with?
Well, on both sides, of course. Yeah. So send me, the information on both. So, or we can come IG Live with me so we could talk about this. The reconciliation would be a good issue on IG Live. Then we can create some content, capture it, post it, and be even more organic with my community about, oh man, I'm interested in the push-up thing. Oh, I'm interested in the benefit thing. But you could come on IG Live with me and have this question for me, because I take questions on IG Live. And say, Dave, I have two things going on. So now organically you're pitching your things because you're telling me about it, even though I already know about it. And then you're like, hey, how do I bridge it? And then I say, no, you don't bridge it, you reconcile it. What you need to do is ask. And then I'll say something like, hey, why don't you do your practice your ask right here? Ask my community. Hey, do you know anyone that can help me with either the push-ups or the benefits?
Awesome.
Does that sound fair?
We can spread the message.
You got it. I'm here on your team.
Thanks, Dave.
I'm already doing my push-ups though. You got to get me.
Let's go. November, I'm going to hit you up.
All right. Mikey's in too. We do push-ups together, right, Mikey? There, Mike gave you this one. And then Matt's a Cowboys fan, so he sits on the couch eating ding dongs. All right. Anyway.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, everybody. Just in time. What a great day. Everyone, if you didn't get through, we appreciate you. Just reach out to me, david@dmeltzer.com. Always available to be of service or value. Always have 5 minutes of time on the phone or 20 minutes in person. I am of service. And remember, share my content and do good deeds. That's my ask. And then finally, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. Take care.